Are you in YouTube self-improvement hell? Do you find yourself watching video after video after video of self-improvement topics? Meanwhile, you have nothing to apply it to. But you think to yourself, oh, one day this is gonna come in handy. Or you feel motivated. You feel like when you watch these videos, you're actually accomplishing it. It's kind of like how they say to never speak out loud of what you intend to do, because you get the satisfaction of actually doing it. Like if I went around and I was like, hey guys, I'm going to med school, I'm gonna be a doctor. And everyone's like, oh, that's so great, that's so amazing. And you know, it gives you that satisfaction like you actually did it. When you didn't. That's literally what you're doing right now. And I'm just in another one of those videos where you're gonna watch it and you're gonna be like, oh, that's so great, that's so awesome. Like Luke said that all you have to do is put your mind to it and then you're gonna make it. And he talked about money and he talked about social skills and he talked about, you know, how he went from being a pizza delivery driver to making at $30,000 a month with his SMMA. And the truth is, well, reading books and watching improvement videos are essentially better than doom scrolling and other things. It's still a form of procrastination. And I know this because I was doing the same exact thing. Last year, before I was even making $10K a month, I spent months watching Jeremy Miner, watching Andy Elliott, all of these sales guys, learning psychological tactics for sales calls that I could use when I had no sales calls lined up. Another good example was when I paid $18,000 for a course. And I spent the first 3 months of that course preparing for when my ads launch, for when this happens, for when I have sales calls. I spent 3 months preparing, messing with my funnel, my landing page, making sure my Instagram looked right. When in reality, I was just waiting for things to be perfect in order to start. And I actually got this tattooed on my arm in French right here, because I am French. And it says, don't wait for things to be perfect to start something good. And that is a mantra I live by. And you need to remember that next time you find yourself doom scrolling on all these self-improvement videos, watching sales stuff, going from drop shipping to SMMA to high ticket sales. And the truth is, these videos, if they're any good, if they're educational, are only good if you have something to apply it to. And I noticed this because I threw myself in the fire. See, that 3 months ago, that 3-month period that I was telling you about, where I was preparing my stuff to run ads, actually were nothing compared to when I threw myself in the fire and said, fuck it, nothing's ready, let me just launch my ads. And then that's when everything fell into place. Right? It's like that book, Ready, Fire, Aim. Meaning, get ready, start working, and then aim after you've already started working. It's like a rocket ship, right? Just launch the rocket ship and then you can aim it on course. And once you have something to actually practice it on is when you make the most growth. Like I just started reading books, the same books that I was reading before, and now I actually have something to apply them to. I actually have sales calls. And the truth is, you don't have sales calls right now. So why are you watching sales videos? You don't have any clients right now. So why are you watching videos on fulfillment? And you need to be honest with yourself and say that you're scared to start doing something. And I've seen it again and again. If you don't know me, I actually was a signed music producer with Atlantic Records before this. I'm sorry, Capitol Records. I was a signed music producer with Capitol Records. I had 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. I still have 30,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Some of my beats went viral and whatever. But in the music industry, I saw the same exact thing. When you go to the studio in New York and you're working with big rappers, successful rappers, they made song after song after song. They didn't write any lyrics down. They were just pumping out songs. They would make 5 songs, 10 songs in a studio session. If you don't know Lil Tony, I was in the studio with Lil Tony, and I've never seen somebody just get in the booth, freestyle 5 songs, and then he was done and he was out. Meanwhile, I come back home to Connecticut, and there's people, friends of mine, peers of mine, that are artists, rappers, that were still working on one song for 2 months, making sure the mix was perfect, making sure everything was perfect, and then they would drop it because they're such perfectionists, and it would get no views anyway. So it was like, what the fuck was the point of being such a perfectionist? You just wasted all that time. When what Lil Tony was doing is just getting reps and reps. And the same exact thing applies to SMMA. You need to get reps. Once you're consistently doing stuff, then you can adjust accordingly. And you know this deep down. You know this, but you're scared. And this is your sign right now to just throw yourself in the fire. Spend $1,000 on ads this month. Who cares if you don't have any testimonials? Who cares if you don't have your Instagram's not properly set up? Adjust accordingly, but put pressure on yourself and actually start doing stuff that you can practice on. Do me a favor and don't close out of YouTube right now. After this video, obviously, I need the attention. Take a good hard look in the mirror and say, why am I being such a faggot, a retarded faggot, that is waiting and setting everything up for this business of mine and not actually doing the hard things, like running the ads, like cold calling, you know, the things that you can apply books to. You can apply books to cold calling. You're watching it for no reason. And trust me, I was the same way. And it wasn't until I stopped and I actually threw myself in the fire that I started to make real money. And now here I am a year later reading the same books and I'm getting 100 times more out of it. Like I have a sales call tomorrow. I've had many sales calls now, so I understand the books a lot more. And you don't have any sales calls. You don't have a business. So just focus on what you need to do, which is get clients and start running ads and start cold calling. Then you can worry about all that other shit, all that other meaningless crap that you think is so important. So do yourself a favor and stop procrastinating on what needs to happen and just fucking do it. Remember, ready, fire, aim. Ready, fire, aim. Funny enough, I've actually never read that book before. I actually just read the cover. It's one of those books where I just read the cover and I was instantly like blown away. Like, okay, I don't need to read this book. I know exactly what it's talking about. Because I've had that same philosophy my entire life, which is do things. I even got it tattooed on me, like I said. Do the thing before you're ready and then adjust accordingly. Stop watching videos on sales. Okay? So, little PSA.